Heading into the evening, we'll still have a 30% chance of precipitation. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with your low around 46. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Hello all, and welcome to the L Show, where the L stands for leaning in. That means we are not going to shy away from any subject, no matter how taboo or uncomfortable. Things like menopause, sex, libido, mental health and depression, difficulties with weight loss, and all the other topics that are important to us maturing women in the primes of our lives. So today we are continuing our discussion on the concept of blue zones, which are essentially pockets, these areas in the world that have the densest population of centenarians, people who live past the age of 100, and they do so happily and very actively. So thank you for tuning in and either watching or listening to the show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary in Cornelius, where our focus is on functional medicine. My team and I, we compound medications specifically formulated for you based upon a script written by your physician. Think of us as the MacGyvers of medicine. You like that, don't you?
I like it.
Yeah. So find us on Instagram and Facebook at Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary, or the website www.roserxboutique.com. And as always, the content may not be suitable for all audiences, and the information provided is not intended to replace the medical advice of your provider. So before we get into today's show, I'd like to talk to you guys about the perfect addition to your cool evenings on either the lake or your porch, or even cuddled up on your couch in front of the TV. I have the most beautiful coconut chai tea by Magic Hour. It is a sultry, sensual blend of spices and heart-healthy black teas for sweetening those days and your nights while bolstering your digestion. And it really, it's like it's transporting you into a nostalgic place. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tea. There is not a brick and mortar around that carries this tea other than Rose Pharmacy. And if you've come to the store, if you do come to the store and you mentioned that you heard it on WSIC News, you're going to get 10% off of what you purchase. So allow me to get you hooked on Magic Hour teas. And everyone who has tried it loves it. They keep it in rotation. So there are many, many, many more of these teas to see at my store. So if you're watching, you can see this beautiful little apothecary jar, and the tea is beautiful itself. I'll show that to you later. So I'd like to reintroduce my guest, my girl, Patty Alvarez. Patty, she's the owner of Good Soul Yoga, Good Soul Hot Yoga in Mooresville. And Patty was so nice to step in for me just a couple weeks ago. I was under the weather. Patty, thank you so much for doing it.
It was my absolute pleasure.
You were wonderful.
I'm just glad you're better.
Oh, thank you.
I'm glad you got through that.
So Patty and I, we're just basically going to be talking about blue zones. We love this topic, and we want to get this socialized with the lifestyle of our community, of our Lake Norman community. So we're just going to dive right in. I believe Patty's going to share with us some fun facts. So let's get started with that, Patty.
All right. So hi, Nicole. Thanks for having me. And
let's put you close to
thinking maybe we should start by going by zone.
Okay.
So we know that there's 5 blue zones, right?
Yep.
So I'll run down them quickly. It's Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Loma Linda, California, Icaria, Greece, and Nicoya, Costa Rica. So I have Okinawa first on my list, but I thought it would be better for me to bring up Sardinia, because Sardinia is really where it kind of all began.
Right.
So a Dr. Gianni Pes had found unusually high population amongst the centenarians in that high mountainous area of Sardinia. And when he started doing his research and identifying other areas around the world, he would use a blue marker to mark on the map. And where these clusters of blue dots started to form, hence the name Blue Zones. That's how we came up with the name Blue Zones, which actually Tammy Hopkins, who had been on with me a few weeks ago, she had taught me that. I'd never known. But I thought there was some really fun stuff. So we have the Power 9, and we can get into that later, which are the kind of the 9 common threads.
Yes.
But some really fun things that I learned about, I thought were interesting and fun facts was, for example, in Sardinia, they're moving around a lot more. So the pitch of the land. So it's a mountainous region
Yes.
where this area of Sardinia is, and these people have to walk up to the market and back from the market, up the hill, down the hill.
And aren't they like there's stairs too? I remember seeing in that documentary.
Sure.
They like live like they may have 3 floors.
Sure, absolutely. 3 to 4, they say, floors in homes. And also, like most European villages, stairs within the village. I mean, if you go to a place like, I don't know, like Montmartre in Paris, and you kind of want to get from one street to another, you do have to take stairs. So I thought that was really interesting. This was really cool, the male to female ratio. So amongst this population in the United States, the male to female ratio is 1 to 5 in our favor.
And 1 to 5, I know. Well, in our favor, but there's less men available, right? So
it's not good for a single.
It's not good for a single gal.
Yeah, single 99-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. But but go ahead. So yes, but for health purposes, yes.
Sure,
so got it.
Absolutely. So it's 1 to 1 in most blue zones.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're saying this is exactly the reason, because they're moving around a lot. They're shepherding. Now, I'm not quite sure how much shepherding is going on at this point. What's happening, I think, for most of us as Americans is we're relying on our devices to keep us connected. So whether it's social media or the news, we're kind of like zoned in on this. And what they call is active coping. So active coping means that you have the ability to control what's stressing you out. So in Sardinia, if you're herding your sheep or growing your garden, or in Mooresville, if you're doing a yoga pose, or in Cornelius, or you're Rose Pharmacy, you have the power and the ability to shift your situation.
Shift your focus.
And empower yourself. Whereas I think sometimes, again, and I'm just as guilty of it as the next person, we get so wrapped up in what the news is saying and what social media
all the
is
bad
saying.
things that are going on and stuff that you cannot control. So that's not really active coping.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. It's really, and it's honestly, I mean, to me, it's really disempowering, and I see it happening all the time, not only in my yoga studio, amongst family and friends. So so those are some fun things that I really like, the active coping thing. I really want to kind of pursue that for me in my own life. But also pets was a big one too. Pets are something you can control, but yet you can love. I'm still trying to control my husband. I don't know. It's not happening. It ain't happening. So that was kind of like the general idea of Sardinia.
Okay.
Loma Linda, California. This is a strong Seventh-day Adventist community. So when they came in and started their community, they started with a church and a hospital. Keeping the focus. And I feel like you might want to speak to them. You might know a little bit more about.
But I'm a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yes. So what I've learned is, like most communities and most religions and say cultures, they do gravitate towards one another. However, the biggest thing that gets everybody out is socialization through church, through volunteering. They go by pillars, and that's probably one of the most prominent pillars. The Sabbath, I think, is really important. So a lot of religions celebrate the Sabbath, where it's, as they call it, sanctuary time between dusk on Friday to sundown on Friday to sundown on Sunday. It's almost like a long version of meditation. I'm not sure if there's specific things that different religions do or cultures do within their Sabbath, but I'd love to know more. So I thought that was great. Common thread, faith. So all of that kind of centers around the church.
Yes.
Education, hospitals, diet, vegetarian diet, very important.
Oh yeah, that's something that we'll definitely talk more about when we get back from our break.
Yeah.
We
Something
will
to look
see
forward
you guys
to
soon.
Conversations that matter.
I gotta tell you, I'm afraid to even think about the next presidential election.
Led by you.
It's a mockery of American politics.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to Kane Center for the Arts Saturday, October 28th. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Eric Jones, the magician, Saturday, October 28th. kanearts.org. Carolina Balloon Fest is this weekend. Day passes to watch the event start at $15. Want to take off in a hot air balloon from Statesville? You can book your ride today. For more info, including ride pricing, visit carolinaballoonfest.com. The Carolina Balloon Fest, this weekend near Statesville Regional Airport. carolinaballoonfest.com. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at kerriganfarms.com. kerriganfarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa's coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures of Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must be scheduled in advance. Santa will be at Birkdale between November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Save your dates. Don't miss the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a rainy Friday out there today, 70% chance of precipitation through the afternoon, and your high temperature only getting up near 66 degrees. Heading into the evening, we'll still have a 30% chance of precipitation. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with your low around 46. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
76 years strong, and we're still the one. WSIC News Talk Now.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and I'm here with my girl, Patty Alvarez. Patty, we were just talking about some of the fun facts around blue zones, and we want to continue down that path. So we had talked about vegetarianism.
Absolutely.
Right? So vegetarianism.
Yes.
So yes.
So we left off with Loma Linda, California, which is actually the only blue zone that does promote a vegetarian diet, which I find to be very interesting because the cancer rates, there's so many advantages to the vegetarian diet. They say fruits reduce lung cancer, vegetables reduce colon cancer, but the staples to this diet, of course, are, as we discussed, legumes, fruits, whole grains, vegetables, and nuts. So, maintaining that, as I like the 80-20 rule, and they talk about this in, I can't remember what reference. So 80% of what you're eating is that of that. And then, of course,
that's kind of the plant slant, too.
Okay.
Right? So that's like that's along the same line as a plant slant.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, and so if you do want to go to Rita's and have an Italian ice or something like that, nobody is going to crucify you for doing that. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, because that's just not real world stuff.
There you go.
So, working back to Okinawa,
Yes.
which again was one of my favorites. One of their biggest staples in their diet is the beni imo, is the sweet purple sweet potatoes. So,
have you seen those? Have you seen those in the grocery store?
Yeah. Oh no, I've never seen them, but there is an Asian market in Charlotte, I believe, and I think you can get them there.
Yeah, I have not been able to find. So after looking at the documentary, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to find it. I have not been able to find them in a grocery store.
Okay, and maybe Amazon. We'll look on the break.
Yes,
let's see if we can come up with some beni imo for Nicole. This was one of my favorites. Low seating.
Oh my gosh.
Low seating.
Yes.
Yeah. So most of the tables are low, so they eat sitting on cushions. When they socialize, they sit directly on the floor. So you have to figure your average person is doing between 30 and 50 squats a day between sitting down and getting up, sitting down and getting up.
At no matter what age, they're used to it.
Right. So even a 95-year-old woman is pushing herself. I'm sure nobody's picking grandma or great-grandmama up off the floor. So I thought that was really fun to know. And which brings me to the point that exercise doesn't have to be this organized torturous event,
Right.
that you can really kind of fold it into your everyday
into
life.
your everyday, so it becomes sustainable. It becomes
Mhm.
sustainable. It's not something that you're like having to really, oh my gosh, I got to go do this. Okay,
Yeah.
what time does it start? I got to that
Yeah.
sort of thing. It doesn't have to be that way. Now, a lot of people like it that way because that's regimented. It's like this is what I'm going to do for this 30 minutes of time.
Right.
But for those people
Focused.
who can't afford to have a membership somewhere or something like that, they can think about how do I incorporate activity into my everyday life that
Yeah.
doesn't require instead of driving a car to somewhere close, maybe you
Sure.
walk or maybe you ride a bike.
Or maybe you just get rid of your couches and chairs and sit everybody on the floor at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes, get a little low table.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
it.
absolutely.
They're onto something.
Yes.
So beyond that, though, I think what really makes it more like, well, okay, let's look at it this way. Back in 1990, I'm going to Weight Watchers, and what do they tell me? Take the stairs. Don't take the elevator. Park your car at the back of the parking
So
lot.
you have to walk further.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my American girls, if you're listening, that's what you want to look for, those little things that you
Mm-hmm.
kind of bring into your day-to-day.
Mhm.
They say 40% of injuries amongst our elders are lower body related. So
Because they don't
usually
have the strength.
That's right.
They don't have it. It's balance.
That's
like
right.
when they're getting up and down.
Yeah.
I go back to that documentary.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was in his 90s, and he basically sat in like cross-legged,
Lotus.
and he lifted himself up,
Uh-huh.
and he
Sure.
was swinging back and forth.
Uh-huh.
This was in Okinawa, and
Oh, yeah. Okay.
so
yeah.
I'm like, wow, if that
Yeah.
just doesn't let you know, like there is power in
Movement.
movement and just get up,
Mm-hmm.
sit down, don't, get the adjustable. Now, granted, I know we're used to our chairs and we're used to be able to sit down and I
Oh,
get
yeah.
it, but maybe lower it a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe use a little more gravity,
Yeah. Well, my husband has MS, and I got him the uplift desk. So he's like this big. He looks like the Hulk. He's like this big dude, and he's on. And then it comes with like the surfboard where you kind of go. I come home and his legs are going, but he's moving. He's moving. They say motion is the lotion. I mean that's the reality. Sometimes I think like God. I own a yoga studio, and I get in the car. I drive to work sitting. I get to work. I sit at the desk sitting. I teach. I stand. So like we spend so much time standing. It's like really, really like, well, we got to start moving around a lot more. So, and I just built a house and moved in, and I am going to grow myself a garden. So that's
That
going to keep
is
me
so
active
yes,
and keep me healthy.
right,
Really
controllable.
Yeah,
Controllable.
and I can control that. We'll get to that. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we did get to that. We did talk about that. That's right. Active control, active tension, really, active
Yep.
coping. That's the word. Monai, togetherness. I love that. So loneliness can cost us up to upwards of 15 years of lifespan. So
Isn't that something?
crazy. I know.
You can live 15 years longer by just having partnership, having togetherness with your engagement with other people.
Yeah. We have a joke, my girlfriends and I, like, God, if anything happens between my husband and I, let's become Golden Girls. Like, let's make a deal. My husband and I were having this talk yesterday. He's like, you told me, you said the other day you would, you'd find a companion. I'm like, well, I would hope you would find a companion if something happened to me. I mean, what's life going to be like?
Yes.
I don't know that I want to. I'll stick to my Golden Girls, and you're more than welcome to join us.
Okay.
If you like.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
So anyway, so togetherness. So let's make way down to Ikaria, Greece is how it's pronounced. So they're living 7 years longer than Americans with half the rate of cardiovascular disease, pretty much no dementia. So they don't have a coastline; they're inland. So they had to really develop kind of learning to live off the fat of the land.
Yeah.
So this is something, again, you must know a lot about is herbal teas.
Yes.
Yeah.
The teas.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the benefits of herbal teas, the things that you get out of it are just the heart health, your all of the active, the good active things in your body. You can get from enhancement from the herbs that and so a good herbal tea is like drinking it daily. I suggest drinking it daily. People don't realize how important that little behavior could be for their lives.
Well, atomic habits. So is there like a specific herbal tea? Like I'm tired or I'm
There,
like,
you know what? There are different ones. We have, when we think about chamomile tea, right? So that's the tea.
Sleepy tea.
Yeah, or sleepy tea, lavender tea, calming tea.
Mm-hmm.
So there are different. It depends on what you're trying to get. So what you're going for, but there are herbs for there's an herbal tea for just about everything. And I'll tell you this, one of my teas, Queen of the Tropics, that tea is, it's an herbal tea. It's a beautiful tea. It has L-theanine in there. It has Garcinia cambogia in there. So it's nice. It's great for your mood. It's great for digestion. It's great for appetite suppression. It's like a treat. It's like a sweet treat, and you have to do nothing to it, but it is so beneficial. When I drink it, I do feel calmer. I feel like it's just, so there are so many things that you can get from herbal teas. People just need to open themselves up to it, and a good quality herbal tea. And that's why I say Magic Hour tea. You cannot get any better than it.
Yeah, I got to get me some.
Yes.
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
All right, good. And that could be an episode unto itself for you. I feel like.
Exactly.
Like, what kind of herbal tea should I drink?
Absolutely.
Like my head is spinning right now. I have so many questions.
Yes.
All right. So togetherness. And then this is another one, Ikigai.
Ikigai, yes.
What is your mission?
What's your purpose?
What's your sense of purpose?
Why do you get up? What's your why? What is your why?
Do you know what your why is? Can you tell me?
Well, you know what? My why is to make sure that I give back, that I can help someone every day, that whatever I take, I give back, paying it forward. Like, how can I make someone's life better today using the things that God has given me, using the gifts that God has given me, all the opportunities that he's given me? How can I pass that along and change something for someone for the better every single day? That is my why. That's
I love
my
it.
why.
That's pretty much my why too.
Yes.
It's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good why.
Outside of my children. Okay, so I'm just so girls, if you're listening, you're my why too.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
That goes without saying.
Exactly.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had a guest on the show last week, Edie. Okay. And Edie is in her 80s, and Edie was, I can't even explain. She was on fire. She had her whole reason for being, her attitude, her outlook, and we'll talk about outlook too, but her outlook was amazing. And she said, I could get in the Lake Norman today and swim across Lake Norman and not have an issue. Like, amazing woman. Yeah, she'll be back on the show next week, guys. So, everybody, I know everyone loved her. So, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to definitely tune in too.
Yes.
Okay. So, here's another good one.
Yes.
Okinawans have no word for retirement. Ha. So they all just kind of keep going. They keep going. And all of these 5 regions, they all work smarter, not harder, which I absolutely love. So, and that would be another fun episode to talk about words that we don't have in English that are in other languages that serve great purpose like that. There's no word for retirement.
No word for retirement.
Yeah. So last but not least, of course, we have Costa Rica. So, Nicole, Costa Rica. So in America, generally speaking, the more money you have, the healthier you have. There's the old saying, the wealthier you are, the healthier you are, sadly, to get access to primary health care.
Right.
Absolutely. So not the case in Nicoya. The biological age is 10 years younger than the rest of us. So if anybody out there, or you have ever gotten your biological testing, I'm hoping mine's about 25. I don't know, but have you ever done that?
No, I'm hoping that mine's maybe 20, 21.
Okay,
21, so I'm old enough to drink. So 21.
Yeah, 21. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. I don't know, though. I feel like I was just so broken, insecure. Anything below 35, I don't want to go back there. I don't know. Okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure.
But that is a good thing. So they don't have fancy testing. We just know through their diet and lifestyle that 10 years younger.
Well, guys, we're going to continue to talk about this when we get back, and then we're going to roll into a couple other things. See you when you get back.
Have your say.
Trusting the government to fix anything is a joke.
Be a part of the conversation.
We can't even trust the banks with our money.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a rainy Friday out there today, 70% chance of precipitation through the afternoon, and your high temperature only getting up near 66 degrees. Heading into the evening, we'll still have a 30% chance of precipitation. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with your low around 46. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Get into Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville.
Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. We've got the power buys, including a 2022 Chevrolet work truck. That's the long bed, regular cab, two-wheel drive V8 engine. These trucks range anywhere from 8,000 miles up to 15,000 miles. How much? $23,988. $23,988. Huge selection. Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville. Come see us today. Right on Gaither Road. Look for the spinning car, folks, because that is where the deals are.
King of Price. RandyMarionStatesville.com.
Could you use a little extra money right now? If you'd like to borrow up to $100,000 and get pre-approved in minutes, call the number we'll give you at the end of this commercial. Our lending partners have already loaned millions of dollars to individuals just like you, and we're ready to lend you up to $100,000 if you qualify. Even if your credit is not perfect, you could use the money to pay off high-interest credit cards, for home renovations, or consolidate existing debt. You can get flexible, easy-to-pay terms. The consultation to find out if you qualify is free. To find out if you qualify for our special financing program, call this toll-free number 24 hours a day. 800-215-0703. 800-215-0703. 800-215-0703. That's 800-215-0703. Important terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Loan amount, annual percentage rate, and term will vary depending on creditworthiness. Applying does not guarantee approval. Account approval is subject to verification and confirmation of your credit history and acceptance by a lender. If you choose to apply for a loan through us, a consumer report will be obtained to evaluate your credit.
If you have an upcoming event, let WSIC spread the word. Go to WSICnews.com and click on the community calendar button. WSIC, proud to be part of your community.
Welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and I'm here with my girl, Patty Alvarez of Good Soul Hot Yoga. And we are talking about blue zones and making sure that we're trying to normalize and socialize the idea, and maybe just with educating people about what it is, how could we make our little areas blue zones? So anyway, that's what we are discussing today. But before before I get into that, I just want to remind you, it is getting cooler outside. And wouldn't you like something healthy to sip on? Now, Patty, I'm going to let you smell this too because I'm going to talk about this.
I'm excited.
Something that brings you joy to your soul. So you have got to come and try this coconut chai. Isn't it amazing?
It's like a cozy hug.
I'm telling you, it's so beautiful. The presentation is amazing. The bags and the apothecary jars are absolutely just amazing. So come into the store, mention WSIC News, try it. You will not be disappointed. You will love it. Okay. Everybody is looking. This is
that how it comes?
Yes. This is what it looks like in this jar.
And then you got the infuser.
Yeah. Yes. Got all that. Got all the all of the accoutrement that go along with teas, drinking teas. So
I love that it kind of smelled like Christmas, but you could absolutely have it in June. Like it had this
exactly.
It had this note of Christmas.
Yes, it's nostalgic, right?
Yeah,
It's like you think about all the things like your turkey, your ham, all that stuff is just so beautiful.
But also like the woods.
Yes.
So it's not just Christmassy. So yeah, it was great.
So, all right, so let's get back to where were we on our blue zones? We were talking about
we were talking about Nicoya. Right, Nicoya. But we could back up a little bit talking like we wanted to talk a little bit about Greece and the strong antioxidant content in
wine. So just to our listeners, we are drinking wine, and this actually is a Sardinian wine that we have. It's called Dolia, and I may be pronouncing this incorrectly. Canino di Sardegna Reserva, and they're wine that helps you live till 100 because you have lots of polyphenols, antioxidant-rich compounds in this bottle that helps your heart and whatnot. And we are absolutely drinking it. So we are saluting. So Bill, are you there? Justin, is he there? Let's go ahead and cheers, cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Here's to living longer.
Yes.
That is delicious.
That's good. Yeah. I would say if you go into the Wine Maestro, you're going to ask for the Canino.
Yes,
right? The Canino is
the
what it
Canino.
is. Yeah. So
it's amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. Just make sure you sip through so you don't get purple teeth. It's very red.
I know. So one thing about this is, when we're thinking about our lifestyles, and there are ways that we can incorporate things into our life, and there doesn't have to be these absolutes. And I think this is a great example. You have in Greece, you have in Sardinia, you have these places outside of the Adventist community of Loma Linda. Outside of that, all of these other places they drink wine, and they drink wine 1 to 2 glasses a day while they're winding down, while they're relaxing, while they're with their family. So in moderation, it is fine, right? Yeah. Clearly, they're living to 100, and they are having their glass or 2 of wine every day. And like I said before, though, they say, drinking 1 or 2 glasses of wine a day is fine, but don't save it all up to drink 14 glasses on Saturday.
No.
That is not what you're supposed to do.
And not the mommy pour, or not
the
big glass.
Or there is the I saw this. There is the high heel.
Okay.
There's a high heel glass.
Oh, good.
That it's huge that you just pour your wine into, and I'm like, wow, okay, that's cute and interesting, but that's cup.
Yeah.
Like,
no. Did you ever see the handbag with the spigot?
No.
You put your wine. I want to get one for my sister. Her and her husband golf a lot. I'm like, that'd be so cool. Like,
yes.
Here's my wine, honey. It's like the modern day flask. No, we were in Disney World, and my daughter ordered a glass of wine at the Brown Derby at Hollywood Studios, and the waitress came over, and she brought the glass over, and I think maybe. And we were like offended. Yeah. And somebody at the table said, well, we're all used to the mommy pour.
Yes, the huge pour.
Yeah, we're offended by this wimpy glass of wine my daughter got. But I thought it was funny. So, but Ponturanians is another fun thing about Icaria, is parties. So from 4 years old to 94 years old, these people are eating, drinking, celebrating, and preserving the cultural and musical and cuisine, all of the different traits of the culture that made them what they are. And I love the span of age, which is kind of fun. I don't know, your daughters are a little young for this, but I'm starting to notice on social media, a lot of my friends who have kids in college are like tailgating at the party, at the football game, partying with their kids. And I'm like, I don't know. When I was a kid, the last thing I wanted to see was my mom at like the sorority house. But they're all doing this. So I guess all my friends are onto something because they've been doing this and it's working. As they're all kind of commingling the generations.
And I think what that does is, and one of the things is putting family first. So that's around connection. So
amongst all 5 zones.
Amongst all 5 zones, putting your family first. How do you maintain the strong bond between, say, grandmother, grandchild? If you're around, if you're there and you're spending time together, it becomes the expectation. You know, it becomes the normal. That's when you're not with family, that is the exception.
Sure.
So that is, again, a big piece of what living longer is about. We talked about the connection. We talked about being alone, how many years you lose being alone. Here, that is the reason why that we need to have togetherness, right? And how do we connect with our family and all of that?
Well, and also in honoring our elders, and not seeing them as kind of an inconvenience. Another thing I learned is, especially in Costa Rica, nursing homes are almost non-existent.
They don't exist.
Yeah,
they don't exist, and that is actually in most of these places you don't have that because your family takes care of you.
Yeah.
Your family takes care of you.
Yeah. And honors the traditions and looks to you for wisdom and doesn't laugh when you do something that maybe because they're not hip to the jive of 2023. So I thought that was really good. Longevity is joyous. It's something to be celebrated. I mean, it really is frightening to me, and kind of how we're trying so hard to look younger and act younger and be younger.
I know. There was one person that they interviewed, this woman who was 102, and she said that she used to be so concerned with her external beauty. You know, she said her hair was really long, and she made sure that everything was perfect, and her face, she had powder on her cheeks and all of that. And she says, as I got older, I began to basically appreciate how I was aging, and also appreciate the beauty on the inside of a person and not the beauty on the outside. So you find what's most important to you. Now, of course, we're all trying to not stave it off, maybe, but you know, to grow older gracefully. I know me, I'm not going and getting, you know, procedures. I just want to age gracefully. If I have a wrinkle, if I have my little 11s, I'm okay with that.
You're at peace with that.
I'm at peace with that only because I don't want to look like I was, I don't. Okay, thank you for
I
that.
was going to say,
yes,
lucky for Nicole, she happens to be a stone cold fox. So I'm like sitting here like, easy for you to say fancy face. No,
you're too much. No, but really, you know, we want to age gracefully, not trying to be 15 or 18 again. You know, it's okay. The wrinkle is fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm also a firm believer of like as within, so without. So you'll find people who have a glow, this magic, this charisma, and I think we all have it. You know, it makes them more beautiful, and their attitudes, and we understand this, but really seeing it kind of put to life within these blue zones, these women, is really.
I know.
Did you see the scene where the woman in Okinawa? I think they were playing like cornhole.
Oh
or
my gosh!
playing some kind of game.
And she had on her head the bottle, and she was dancing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She was dancing, and then they were like, and all of them were around her daughters. Yeah. Their daughters,
and they were honoring her like we honored Jay-Z and Beyonce. They were like,
exactly. It was like being at a concert.
Grandma!
It was like being at a concert.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, people need to watch this documentary so that they can appreciate like the amazing information.
And wow, how cool is life?
And how cool is life?
Yeah.
Continue talking about this, guys, when we come back from our break.
Thought-provoking conversations and informed perspectives.
It's meant for everyday people to understand, and you don't have to stress about technical terms and stuff. They just say it like a real person.
WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Want to enjoy a night of magic? Eric Jones, a worldwide award-winning magician, is coming to King Center for the Arts Saturday, October 28th. Buy your tickets before they sell out. canearts.org. Eric Jones, the magician, Saturday, October 28th. canearts.org. Carolina Balloon Fest is this weekend. Day passes to watch the event start at $15. Want to take off in a hot air balloon from Statesville? You can book your ride today. For more info, including ride pricing, visit CarolinaBalloonFest.com. The Carolina Balloon Fest, this weekend near Statesville Regional Airport. CarolinaBalloonFest.com. Pumpkin picking at Kerrigan Farms. Experience the pumpkin patch at Kerrigan Farms by booking your experience now at KerriganFarms.com. KerriganFarms.com for a pumpkin picking adventure. Santa's coming to town. Schedule your time to take pictures of Santa at Birkdale Village. Spots are limited and must be scheduled in advance. Santa will be at Birkdale between November 19th and Christmas Eve. Appointments include time with Santa and 8 digital images from a professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit BirkdaleVillage.com. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on Events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a rainy Friday out there today, 70% chance of precipitation through the afternoon, and your high temperature only getting up near 66 degrees. Heading into the evening, we'll still have a 30% chance of precipitation. Other than that, mostly cloudy skies with your low around 46. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Stop dreaming about the perfect lawn and make it a reality. Drum Landscape Supply now offers personalized lawn plans. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com and collaborate with our experts. Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop.
It's back, and it's better than ever. The WSIC Community Yard Sale. Sell your stuff October 28th as we bring back the legendary Community Yard Sale. Visit WSICnews.com/yard sale. Get your spot today.
In life, we plan for many important things. Weddings, our children's education, retirement. A celebration of life is really no different. Planning and paying for your life celebration in advance will give you and your family valuable peace of mind. We'll help you take care of every detail with professionalism and compassion. We're Lynn Honeycutt Funeral Home. Find us at DignityMemorial.com.
Whatever the story,
we have to end our dependence on China.
Have your say.
This debt crisis is going to set our economy back big time.
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Welcome back to the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, and I'm here with Patty Alvarez, owner of Good Soul Hot Yoga in Mooresville, North Carolina. So we were just talking about continuing our conversations on the Blue Zones, and we were going to talk about Nicoya.
Yes, our
before
last
we got
of
into
five.
to the Power 9. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
Okay, so a quick recap. We have Okinawa, Japan. We have Sardinia, Italy. We have Loma Linda, California. And then we have Ikaria, Greece. And, of course, ending on Nicoya, Costa Rica. So we had mentioned this in the former segment, but I'll mention again. In America, really, the wealthier you are, the better health care you get. You just have access to better health care, which hopefully that's something we can hammer out. But anyway, the biological age of the average Nicoyan is 10 years younger than your average American. So a lot of people I know are going out getting their biological age testing done. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I think there is on the website, on the Blue Zone's website, I believe there is a questionnaire or something that you can take to to do your biological age. I believe
Okay.
I believe I saw that. I'll have to check that out.
All right, yeah, I definitely
Okay,
want to look
yeah,
into that too.
yeah.
That's really cool. Okay, so similar to Ikigai is Plan de Vida. So
Mhm.
basically, same thing we talked about earlier is a strong sense of purpose. Funny story, I'll be brief. My husband, who has MS, spent a lot of time on a cane and a wheelchair. And while we were building our house, we moved to an apartment where he was forced to walk our dogs. And he basically, I can't describe to you the tremendous benefit it has been to his life, to our marriage, to everything, just for him getting out and moving around. He has a sense of purpose. And it's obviously a lot more than just walking our dogs, but I just thought I would bring that up. Typically, the Plan de Vida is work related, but love this. Doing things by hand, right? So they're doing things by hand. They're living off the fat of the land and more conscious movement, which I think is really, really, really beneficial.
They don't have all of the conveniences we have, right?
Everything
We have
is set up.
dishwashers. We have microwaves. We have
Cars.
everything.
Things literally think for us. Like we don't
Exactly.
even use our brains half the time. I
Right.
mean, yeah. So absolutely. So one of my favorites, and I've heard this in a million and one business self-help books, is work smarter, not harder. So they're not working 14-hour work days, but while working, right, they're efficient and they're getting things done at a much more rapid pace. So that would lead us to family, 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 where
More
again,
time.
we talked about this again with the people in Greece, with Loma Linda, is family togetherness. I keep saying this, but really one of my favorites is their health care. So to me, it's a genius approach. They're focusing on nutrition,
right?
Preventative versus
so being preventive versus reactionary.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right, and reinforcing strong nutrition programs, even amongst most importantly children. Every man, woman, and child has access to what's called a healthcare ambassador. So these people literally go door to door, right? They get to know you, all the nuances, all the things that are going on with you.
Yes.
They follow up when needed and just regularly check up on overall well-being. How awesome is that, especially for our elders?
Yeah. And in these places where there is no conveniences, in these places where, they don't have it is not as easy to get to some doctor's office, right? So they and in the documentary, guys, you'll show you where they're on these little mopeds and they're coming out and they're asking questions. I remember they were asking that the man, do you know what day it is? Like they're trying to see, okay, orientation, those sorts of things. And he's like, yeah, he says, I know what day it is. He's like, I'm not sure about the year, but I do know it. I do know
Maybe that's
the
not
day.
a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly. But yes, I think that's amazing. And look at the what is the benefit? What's the benefit? The outcome for them?
Yeah.
They have less heart disease, less dementia, less all of these things they have less of.
Yeah.
And they're doing with less of what we have.
Well, and I think it also kind of works back to the sense of purpose and accountability.
Yes.
Is that, wow, Nicole is going to be here on Thursday at 2:00 and I have to make sure I'm showered and I'm shaven and my house is clean. And, it's much more than just let's talk about what your blood pressure is or whatever,
Correct.
but also just the socialization. And then I'll wrap Nicoya up with the three sisters, and I'm one of three sisters, so I love this one.
So am I.
Beans, squash, and corn, mostly corn tortillas, are the three major staples of their diet. So yeah, just so
it's that blue
so
corn,
much.
the blue corn. So you noticed, so in the documentary they showed like the blue corn that has it's the same property in blue corn that's like in blueberries, but it's like 10-fold or 100-fold.
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
so,
it's a lot higher. It's
yes.
like the acai.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, like the diets are very, very. Let's not say diet. I'm sorry. So I'm gonna not say diet because when you say diet, it really kind of makes you
Stressful.
think that that's kind of a stressful word when I think about it.
Diet
Talk
is die with a D,
Yes.
or die with a T.
Exactly. Yes. But really just lifestyle. Like how are you, what's your lifestyle like? What are you consuming? What's your daily intake of whatever, right?
Yeah.
But these people are very, they live off the land, what's available, and the way that they prepare, and just the whole thing that goes into it. They're active in cooking. They're active in preparing. They're active in, harvesting. They're active. And then it goes down the line too. Here we have, this is what we made, and it's good for you. No preservatives.
And how good it feels.
Yes,
like
to
how
be able
good
to
it feels.
feed your family.
Yeah, and share your bounty. Like
Exactly.
from your heart.
Yes. So let's roll into the Power 9 really quickly. So the Power 9, what that is basically lifestyle habits of the people who live the longest, of the world's healthiest and long-lived people. And we've talked about this already, but again, we're trying to socialize this. We want it to become a normal thing that we talk about, moving naturally, right? So that is important. How you move, how you move, how you move. Are you taking the stairs versus an elevator? Are you actually deciding that, hey, I'm not going to walk to, I'm not going to take my car to this place that's very close. I'm going to walk.
Yeah, I'm going to park at the back of the
I'm going to
parking
park
lot.
at the back of the parking lot. Do little things. I mean, depending upon people's environments, right? Some people have the work-live communities that we hear about, but other people don't have that. But what are you doing? Okay, so let's walk the dog, or go to a friend's house that lives in the neighborhood. Walk to the friend's house, whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
So moving naturally. So they grow gardens and don't have mechanical conveniences for house and yard work. Second thing we talked about, this is purpose. We call it the ikigai. What is the reason why you wake up every morning? We talk about downshifting, and that we talked about that earlier as well. How do we deal with stress? How do we basically get back to relaxation and be able to cope, right? Active coping, right? We have the 80% rule. Stop eating when you are 80% full.
Yeah, we didn't get into that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, plant slant, beans, soy, lentils, those are huge pieces of centenarian diets. Wine at 5. We just had wine.
Or 4.
Yes, there it is. There
Yes,
it is.
cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
Yes.
Salud. They all drink alcohol moderately and regularly. They belong. Whether or not it's faith-based, whether or not it's your group, your tribe, they belong. They put loved ones first. They keep grandparents, parents near the home, in the home. Mortality rates are very low.
And they're revered.
And they're revered. And again, going back to that tribe. So guys, listen, thank you to everyone who tuned into this week's segment of the Elle Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Eastman, pharmacist and owner of Rose Pharmacy and Boutique Apothecary. And a huge thank you to my girl Patty, who's going to be on here many more times, owner of Good Soul Yoga. For those of you who missed any part of this show or any of our previous shows, you can find them on WSICnews.com, or you can watch following them on Facebook. We're also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I definitely, once again, invite you to come and visit me at the store. For all those tea drinkers, this is going to elevate your tea game, guys. Listen, just mention WSIC News and you're going to get 10% off your purchase. We just have so much to offer everyone when you come through our doors. Just take a little bit of time. Come visit us. We'd love to have you. And ladies, remember to block off that 3 to 4 p.m. time slot every Friday for the Elle Show, because I want this to be our happy hour. And when we are wrapping up our busy weeks together on a very uplifting note, it helps our weekends go very, very nicely. Let's see. Let's talk really quickly in the last few seconds. Patty, what would you tell our listeners and viewers? What's a takeaway for them today? Just a quick takeaway.
Watch the Netflix documentary.
Heck
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best blanket. Follow the Power 9 for sure. I think that's great. But honestly, food, community, and move your body, most importantly. I think those are the 3 things that I would, and of course, atomic habits. Just try to fold these into your life, all these things into your lives gently and regularly.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You heard it, guys. Again, cannot stress enough. Watch the documentary and you will absolutely be hooked. Thank you so much, guys, for being on the show today. Thanks so much, Patty.
Thank you, Nicole.
The new